Even before the pandemic, the demand for motorcycles has been growing, with more than 14 million registrations from 2011 to 2019. Fast forward to 2022, more people are expected to turn to personal mobility after 2 years of social distancing and limited public transport. Joining me now is Wheeltek Vice President for Sales and Marketing, Roscoe Odulio. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Sam, and thank you for having me here.
Sir, as I mentioned, Filipinos' love for motorcycles is growing steadily. Do you think this trend will continue?
I think yes, of course, for sure, because of personal mobility. It's easier for Filipino to transport from point A to point B.
Right.
I think one factor also will be, of course, price increase right now. That's a big factor. That's more economical to use the motorcycle rather than other than modes of transportation. Another one, I think, will be, of course, the safety. It's more safety. It's more safe to use during this pandemic. We have already social distancing. You're already wearing your helmets. So I think that's a big factor right now.
Sir, compared to other Southeast Asian countries, would you say it's safe to say that there are more opportunities for key players here, or is the local market already saturated?
Technically speaking, everyone is here already. I think one is it's just the EV market who's not yet here. But I think the EV market will be coming from other brands. But technically, the big players are already here in the Philippines. So I think it's already complete in the industry.
Right. So in your opinion, what are the factors that will drive more Filipinos to switch to motorcycles post-pandemic?
I think post-pandemic, of course, will be still the personal mobility. Because right now, there's a lot of Filipino who is using the motorcycle as a work and leisure. During the weekends, we can see that a lot of riders are riding motorcycles right now because of leisure. I think because for the past 2 years of the pandemic, we had some restrictions going out. So I think that's one way of the avenue that people are going out right now. And I think it's really good for the art tourism.
How about when it comes to challenges? Ano mga challenges ng riders right now?
I think the challenges will be still the pandemic. I think that's one of the biggest issue right now because, of course, if the restrictions will be uplifted again, income will be hampered. Of course, people not have any work. They don't have the capacity to buy anymore. So I think it's really the pandemic. If the pandemic will go well, if the pandemic will stop, I think all of our sales will increase and hopefully we can reach our pre-pandemic sales.
How about when it comes to infrastructure, sir? Are there challenges that riders face?
Of course, the infrastructure, that's a big factor, of course. I think on one of the infrastructure, it's really the rider education. I think we have to put more education on the riders so then they can be well equipped, they will be more safer. So I think that will be one of the biggest factors that we can contribute to the riding community.
How about on the part of the government? What would you recommend for them to do to make the roads safer for riders?
I think it will still go back to the rider's education. Because I think right now, if you're gonna get some license, you can see that there's no seminars happening already. So I think the rider education will be a big factor really because most of our riders doesn't know what is the science of riding. Like, for example, you do the counter steer when you're riding a motorcycle. You look where you go. So those kind of basic things that a rider can really be helpful to them.
Sir, for those who want to start riding motorcycles for personal mobility or whatever reason, what is the best for them? What is the best for beginners? Should it be an off-road, a scooter type, or electric motorcycle? What do you recommend?
Actually, all motorcycles is technically the same. Like I was saying, the science of riding a motorcycle is the same. Whether it's an EV or a scooter. But I think, of course, the bigger the CC, that's a different scenario. But of course, if you want to ride a motorcycle, first is go to a school. I think one that I can recommend is the one in Parañaque, which is HSDC Honda City Driving School. They have a very good facility there if you want to learn how to ride. They can give you certifications. A lot of also the manufacturers like Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki have their own learn to rides as well. Even with our company, we also have our own learn to rides. So I think they can enroll to us so we can give them a proper training in order for them to ride the better riding.
How about for safety tips? What do beginners need to know as well?
I think for safety, of course, is wear your gears. That's very important.
Of course.
Wear your helmets, wear your gloves, wear your jackets, wear your knee pads. I think that would be a big contribution already if we will all wear our gears. And I think for education, I think one is learn the parts of the motorcycle because every part has their own functions and usage. So I think it's really better for them, for us to train the riders how to use the motorcycle properly.
Of course, it's good to know what you're riding. Sir,
Yes,
before
exactly.
we go, with the boom of electric-powered transport, how's the electric motorcycle market taking off here in the country?
Actually, it's having some tractions right now for the EV. But for me, it will be really the support of our government.
Okay.
Until such time that the government will not support like the legislation,
Right.
tax incentives, all of our infrastructures, as we were saying, like the charging stations and everything.
Right.
It can have a good traction, but it will take us a long way to go before we can reach to a good number for our EV market.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Wheeltek Vice President for Sales and Marketing, Roscoe Odulio.